it's interesting because we spend so much time worrying growing up. Yeah. And I know in my 20s and 30s for sure, and even in my early 40s is you worry so much about, all right, what's somebody going to think or how is this going to be perceived? And if I'm kind of at the point now where that's why we said you're not for everyone. I'm at the point now where I know me and I know my values and I know I'm a good person. And is everybody going to like me? Nope. Right. And if they don't, it has way more to do with them. I think I'm relatively nice. I mean, it depends on the day, but we've all got our people. And if we can just focus on those, like, here's the thing, the people that don't like me, I'm never going to convince them to like me. I don't know why. Maybe they don't like the color of my hair. I don't know, which I did just change.
I know.
Maybe they like it now.
That's why.
But it could be something weird. It could be something I said to them in 1982 that has stuck with them. It's okay. And if I spend my time trying to please the disgruntled minority, I don't have an opportunity to impact all the people that I could impact.
Yes.
So that's where, as we're going through election season and we're going through everything, is you're not going to change the mind of the people that disagree with you. The best thing we can try to do is, change their heart, not even change their hearts, pray for their hearts and try to say, okay, let's just be kind and let's just all get along. A little kumbaya.
Yeah, I know. Just hold hands and
let's just hold hands and sing. But it's true. I think it's kind of, it's simple, but it's difficult.
Yes. And, I think I also look at everything as a life lesson because I'm always thinking of my children too. And I don't think we're all meant to be the most popular person in this world.
Yeah.
I think that all that kind of helps us become who we are and shapes our character.
Yep.
So yeah, when I was younger, if someone didn't like me, I would just be devastated.
Yeah.
And work so hard to try to get them to like me. And in the end, it's what happens. You don't like yourself.
Right. And you're changing yourself. You're changing who you are to try to please somebody that's not. All right. So Quavi's got some math going on here. If y'all are following along. So I know if you're listening on iTunes, you're not getting this, but on Facebook in the comments, Quavi has said 30% of people will like you. 30% will love you. 30% won't like you. 10% don't care. I did the math. That does add up to 100. So
carry the one.
So, all right. So 10% don't care. 30% won't like. Quavi, 30%, man, that's high. I'm a little, thought it was less than that. But all right, but here's the deal. We spend the bulk of our time worried about the 30% who are never going to like us.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with all the stuff and all the rhetoric we're seeing. You're never, let me say this for those of you guys who have voted and have not voted and may vote some day in the past or in the future. You are never going to change the minds of people with a Facebook post.
Right.
So quit being fools and posting crazy stuff that is mean to one another. So 30% of the people aren't going to like you. You're not going to change their mind. There's nothing you can do. So focus on the people that like and love you already.
It is
and
funny.
One of those should be yourself.
Yes. And I think that's where it starts. And that goes back to what Lisa Washington said.
Yep.
But that's so interesting about the negative. And I was just talking to somebody about this actually yesterday. So you can have an event and say 100 people show up.
Yep.
But you'll remember those 10 people who didn't show up. Or you can have a restaurant and every day, you're cranking it out there. People love your food. That one customer on Yelp who bashes you, that's what you're going to remember. And it's such a shame because I totally, admit to being that person where I would just why don't they like this, or what was the negative? And what I was finding is that negative energy and just feeling yucky, I was taking away from my family and the people who are like, hey, love us, we're here.
Yeah.
So, and
It's focusing on the right. It's focusing on the right percent of people, and we learned that way too late in life. I mean, I wish there was a way to put this into a class in middle and high school. But I saw I don't even think it was a study. It was an example one time, and it was a math teacher. You guys may have heard this example, and they put 10 problems on the board, and one of them was a really basic mistake, like 8 + 2 = 14. Something just really obvious, and he just started writing all these problems on the board, and it was elementary age students, and the kids start laughing at the teacher. And the teacher did this on purpose. The kids start laughing, and he's like, what are y'all laughing at? You got that wrong. And the teacher said, but I got 9 out of the 10 right. And no one said anything about that. So as a child, you're programmed to start, oh, that one was wrong. That one was wrong. And that's where I feel like we need to start is let's quit picking out and nitpicking what's wrong and figuring out, you know what, you got 9 of those right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's it.
We're seeing that with my youngest. My oldest teased me. They're like, we were making all A's and you're the youngest. I'm like, yeah, we passed the test. Woo! So, but it's meeting people where they are and realizing that, hey, here's the good in you that we just need to pull that out. Because everybody likes to have the good stuff. Nobody wants the negative.
And it goes back to being, talking about the children, is being competitive and also at an early age saying, you've got to make the A's, you've got to be the best. You've got to get that medal. So that makes a lot of sense to where we're so competitive to being the best, sometimes competing with others and sometimes competing, with ourselves.